to Mike Walter for the latest breaking news regarding that Malaysian Airlines jet. Mike?
Thanks so much, Phil. We are following breaking news out of Malaysia. Chinese search and rescue teams have been activated to locate a Malaysia airline plane carrying 239 people on board. It disappeared between Kuala Lumpur and Beijing. Our correspondent Ryan Meltzer is live for us in Kuala Lumpur with the latest. Ryan, what can you tell us at this point?
Well, the plane was due to arrive about 3 hours ago in Beijing, having taken off at 12:41 a.m., and it was about 2 hours after it took off that Malaysia Airlines reports that they lost contact with the plane. Now, its flight path would have taken it from Malaysia north, east, over the Gulf of Thailand, over Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and over the South China Sea and into China. Now, the report that you just gave is that the Chinese authorities are searching for the wreckage of the plane, but it's hard to tell how far along the flight path it would have been when they lost contact with it after 2 hours. And as I say, it crossed 2 bodies of water and several countries en route before entering southern China. We know only that there were 239 people on board. 12 of those were crew members. There were 2 infants. We have no details at all on the nationalities of the passengers. We expect large numbers of both Malaysian and Chinese passengers, strong links between the 2 countries, a lot of trade, a lot of tourism, a lot of Malaysians of Chinese origin as well here. So just the only information that we have is that the time that the plane was lost, how many people were on board, and not even any details over where it might have been when they lost contact with it.
Ryan, just to kind of fill in some of the gaps that we're getting from our colleagues in Beijing, we're told that reporters on the ground there in Beijing say in the terminal right now, it's just reporting this flight is being delayed. We're also getting word, and of course this is fluid and it can change, and we know that that happens a lot of times with this type of breaking news, but we're being told there are 160 Chinese nationals on the plane. Can you give us an idea, you know, a lot of times when these sorts of things happen, people start to look at maybe the weather may have been a factor. Do we know if the weather, if there was bad weather in the area or anything like that?
No, I've not heard any reports of that type at all. Of course, as I say, it was crossing water bodies, 2 water bodies, the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea, as well as several countries. So it's hard to say, you know, to look at all those countries and say, well, what were the various conditions in those areas? But there's certainly nothing extraordinary, such as typhoon conditions or a heavy monsoon or anything of that sort at this time of year. In fact, in many of these countries, it's the dry season right now, so there would not even be any rain, let alone major storms.
And Ryan, if it's missing, another issue I've just been told would be the fuel, that this thing can hold 117 liters of fuel, but it was expected to land a while ago, so that's an issue as well, isn't it?
Well, we're talking it's 3 hours overdue, so certainly at this stage, you know, it's not a case of it having, you know, just being delayed. There's no doubt about that. But the question is, could it get put down somewhere safely? You know, these are the types of things that you can only speculate on. It's probably very dangerous to speculate on at this time, but it's a 3-hour delay at this stage on what should have been a 6-hour flight. It's now 9 hours after it took off.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much for that update. We'll